Welcome back to News 3 Today. Named in honor of the father of Savannah's modern civil rights movement, the Ralph Mark Gilbert Civil Rights Museum houses an abundance of local history, the vision of the late W.W. Law, a civil rights giant in his own right. Vaughnette Goode-Walker is the executive director of the museum. She joins us now with more about its history, its evolution, and what the future holds. A lot of stuff to talk about this morning. Thank you so much for being here today.
I love it that you use the word future.
Yes.
Because the future is now. We're here.
We are here.
And we've moved so much further along since 1996. The museum reopened back in October of last year after 2 years being shuttered so that it could expand the exhibit there. And we're really excited. Welcome back, Savannah. Thank you, Chatham County Schools. Thank you, Dr. Lavette, because those school children are coming. In fact, we are open Tuesdays and Wednesdays we've been open Tuesdays and Wednesdays only for the schools to return. And we have had all sorts of little ones from all over Chatham County, so I thank you for that.
Now, before we get to what's on the inside of the museum, the building itself is as much a part of history as what's inside. Let's talk about the building that houses the museum.
Well, the building was a 1914 marvel, if you will, because it's 3 stories high, 11,800 square feet of museum now, but it was built as the Wage Earners Saving and Loan Bank at that time. And it went on to become 2 very important insurance companies here in the city of Savannah and across the state. At first, it was the Guarantee Life Insurance Company, Walter Scott, whose name is on Scott Middle School today. And also you had coming next Atlanta Life Insurance. And Atlanta Life occupied that building until 1996 when it became a museum. Thank you, W.W. Law, who definitely said that was the place it should be. Mr. Law at the time was trying to save what we know as West Broad Street. And to his credit, he did a great job, and we were able to save West Broad Street with a new exhibit telling its real story in the 1950s before the Eisenhower Highway Plan decided that it would kind of tear through some cities, and West Broad resulted in losing the Union Station that was built in 1902, and in comes after that a flyover that we know today that has been much discussion, but we're back in the museum now. So the museum actually tells a lot of stories. It also had 2 businesses in there from its beginning and well into the mid-century. The original business was a barbershop on the lower level, and the last barber there, Mr. Torrance, he was there for 50 years before it became a museum. So we dedicate a barber chair to him and tell his story. He's shaking the hand of W.W. Law on the new part of the exhibit.
Now let's talk about the expansion, because we only have a few minutes left, but there's a lot. If you haven't been to the museum lately, there's a lot that has changed.
Yes. Well, what has changed is that when people come in that front door, first of all, they want to know who's Ralph Mark Gilbert and how does he get a whole building named for himself. So we made sure to tell the story of Dr. Gilbert and all of the presidents of the local chapter of the NAACP, from Gilbert to Al Scott, who was who preceded Chad Matz, who is the current president of the NAACP, but also the sheroes of the movement. Mrs. Euloria Gilbert. The archive is named for her at the Ralph Mark Gilbert. She donated Dr. Gilbert's papers to the museum, 500 of his typewritten sermons, an amazing collection. She joined the ancestors this year at 101 years old. I had the honor to see her in November of last year to present her with the plaque that is also on that archive.
Now we're running out of time, but I do want to get in that for the first time you're holding a Juneteenth celebration at the museum. Well,
we're holding a Father's Day / Juneteenth because Father's Day is dedicated to Dr. Gilbert, and of course you have to have a lady to help you with the movement, and so we're dedicating it to both Dr. Gilbert, the father of Savannah's civil rights movement, and also Georgia and Mrs. Gilbert, but also Juneteenth. Jumping Juneteenth has been very exciting. It's the 18th. How great to make it a companion with that. We're open from 1 to 3 on Sunday because we're
out of time. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we'll be back with more of News 3 Today right after this.